Yo, you thinking about giving away free t-shirts for promotion? Let's talk about it.
Fat Man Scoop, Brooklyn Clan. What's up, y'all? This is Fat Man Scoop. And right now, you watching the sensei, the number one, the king, my dude, Big Brando. He taught me, personally, me, Fat Man Scoop. All you gotta do is keep your mouth closed and your ears open. Listen to the man talk. That's knowledge personified right there, and I wouldn't trust nobody else but my dude, Big Brando. And I said it. Fat Man Scoop, Big Brando! Let's go!
What's happening, everybody? Boy, Big Brando, and today let's talk about giving away free t-shirts for promotion. Now, when anybody is starting a t-shirt business, whether it's a clothing brand, whether you're printing custom t-shirts, or you're just operating as a print shop and doing contract print work, giving away free t-shirts is always an option. This isn't the only way to market your t-shirts. This isn't the only way to get your t-shirts out, but for whatever reason, this is a constant question in my comments. And it's usually like, hey, I'm about to start my brand. I'm about to launch my brand. Should I start giving away free t-shirts to friends and family? Hey, I just launched my brand. Should I send some free t-shirts to this influencer to get some promotion done? Hey, I feel weird charging my family. Should I just give them free t-shirts? Would that be okay? Now, just to backtrack a little bit, this is everybody's marketing strategy when they're thinking about starting a t-shirt business. I'm gonna get all the equipment to create the t-shirts. I'm gonna send out some free t-shirts to friends, family, and influencers, and then sales are gonna start falling in. Let me start off by saying there's nothing wrong with giving away free t-shirts if your budget allows it. What you have to keep in the back of your mind is we pay for these t-shirts. We pay for the blank t-shirts, we pay for the transfers, we pay for the vinyl, we pay for the printing. All of this comes out of our own pocket. So if your budget allows it, this is perfect marketing. You could print up a bunch of t-shirts, give them to friends and family, give them to influencers, give them to whoever you want. But you gotta remember, it's gotta be within your budget. Now, if your budget only allows you to have a dozen t-shirts and you're thinking about giving away 10 of those dozen t-shirts, that means your budget doesn't allow it because now you're eating up all of your inventory. So be mindful when you're thinking about doing this. The reasons why this thing could be beneficial, one being promotion. The more people see your t-shirt, the better. The more of your t-shirts are out in the street, the better. But you also have to be mindful on who you're giving these t-shirts to. Now, if you're giving it to your friend that says, hey, I support your brand, and they only use your t-shirt as an undershirt or maybe just at the gym, or they use it to wash their car, that doesn't help the business any, right? Because it's not being shown in a positive light. Now, if you gave it to a friend or a family member that's posting, wearing your stuff on Instagram for their following, wearing your shirt to the mall, to work, to Disneyland, now your t-shirt's getting the exposure that you want it to get. Same goes for the influencer. If you sent that t-shirt to an influencer, the influencer wears it, or maybe one of their buddies wears the t-shirt, but they never talk about it, the exposure is great, but at the same exact time, that doesn't help the business any if they're not sending their following to the site to pick up the shirt. If they're not talking about the shirt, it's very hard to gain traction off of that. Yes, it's getting a lot of eyeballs on it, but no, because nobody knows where to get it, right? And if they're in the comments like, hey, that's a cool shirt, where'd you get it from? And they're not even responding to their following and saying, you should go to this link or you should go to this website. This is who makes the t-shirt. Then it doesn't help any because you have to get into the comments and start doing the dirty work. Does that work? Yeah. Does it require a lot more work? Yeah, but it's a toss-up. So what you really have to remember is when you're thinking about giving away t-shirts for free, this shouldn't be your only marketing strategy. This shouldn't be the only way that people are gonna see your t-shirts is by giving away free stuff. On top of that, be mindful of who you're giving this free stuff to. You need to be able to understand how you're gonna track the data on, is that really working? Is me giving these t-shirts to this person bringing in sales? Is it bringing in possible conversions? Is the traffic on my website going up? You have to be able to track the data because you need to understand if it's paying off, if it's worth giving away those free t-shirts to that individual. Now, people always ask me, do you give away free t-shirts? And yes, I do. That's not the biggest part of my marketing strategy, and I do it for a few different reasons. One of the first ways I do this is I do the same thing, influencer marketing, getting celebrities to wear my stuff, but I take a different approach. When I hit up the celebrity or the influencer about my t-shirts, I don't ask them to post anything. I don't ask them to shout me out. I don't ask them to tag me in anything. Now, this sounds very ass backwards because that's what we want them to do. What I do is I add value to the situation first. I create the conversation, and before asking for something, I'm offering something. So the email or the DM usually goes like this. Hey, I'm a big fan, or I like your work, or I like what you do, whether it's a rapper, actor, dancer, athlete, whatever the type of celebrity or influencer this person is. Then it's followed up by, hey, I own this clothing brand. I would love to send you some stuff for free. All I need is your size and a PO box to send it to. I never ask for their address because nobody's gonna randomly give out an address, so I always ask for the PO box. Then I'll attach a couple photos. Here's what some of my stuff looks like. Let me know if you're interested. Would love to send you some stuff. Not looking for a shout out, not looking for anything. I just want to send you this stuff off of the strength and respect that I have for you. Now, two things happen when you do this. One, they open it and they read it. You're getting them to look at your stuff. Now, if they send you their size and a PO box to send it to, that means they looked at your stuff and they were genuinely interested in your stuff. Because if they weren't interested, if they didn't like the designs, if they didn't like the concept, if they didn't like that approach, they would never respond to you. But if they respond with the size and an address to send it to, bingo. Now you know that that influencer has a certain interest in what you're offering. Sometimes they'll come back and be like, hey, can you send this shirt and this shirt? Looks dope, blah, blah, blah. And then you send it out. What ends up happening is because you didn't ask for anything and you ask them not to do something, naturally what they do is they unbox it on their Instagram, or they wear the shirt and they tag you on their Instagram because your approach was way different than every other brand in their DMs. When every other brand is asking them to promote them, to shout them out, to tag them, to wear their clothes, blah, 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 you're basically doing the opposite and you're saying, hey, don't post me. Don't shout me out. Don't tag me in this. I want to give this to you because I'm a fan of you. Organically, what ends up happening is when the package comes in, they'll open it up on their Instagram, or they'll post a story about it, or they'll post a shirt and be like, hey, shout out to so-and-so for sending this over, whatever the case, because you're not asking them to do that. They're doing it on their own. Now, every time this happens for myself, I usually post it on Patreon when I'm doing stuff like this, just to show that it works. But also, this is what you want out of the influencer, right? You want the influencer to tag you so people know where they can buy whatever they see. Once again, I'm not asking them to do it. They're doing it on their own. I'm not forcing them to wear anything. I'm not sending a check with it. All I'm doing is sending the clothes and that's it. So they end up doing it on their own. Now, one of the other ways that I give away free clothes is, say if I have a returning customer that's a loyal returning customer that's buying multiple things, shirts and hats every drop. Just for being a loyal customer, I'll throw in extra shirts. Sometimes what I do with some of my brands is I make an exclusive shirt that I don't offer, I don't sell, and I only give that to the real loyal customers, because that creates that small secret society of, if you know, or I got this for free and they don't even offer this. You're creating the hype around something that isn't hyped up. So if there's a loyal customer, I'll throw in a bunch of free stuff, free t-shirts, free hats, free hoodies, because I know that this customer is a loyal returning customer and down with the brand. That's when I start really hooking these people up, just to let them know that I appreciate their business and I appreciate their loyalty. What ends up happening is they post it on their social media. Just got this package in, so-and-so threw in this free shirt, never even seen this thing before. Or if they've seen other people post that shirt, now they feel like they're in the in crowd, right? You're creating this world for them. And it's dope because you're the brand owner, so you can control who gets these shirts and who doesn't. Now, one of the last ways that I give away free stuff without anything in return is, let's say I'm vending at an event and I pre-press a bunch of t-shirts. This used to happen to me a lot when I used to screen print. This is where this idea came to life. So before, I used to screen print a ton of stuff, right? Before I was controlling my inventory, I was just stocking racks up with a bunch of clothes, a bunch of t-shirts, different sizes, different colorways, but not everything sells. And when everything doesn't sell and I try to liquidate everything by offering it at a discount and it still doesn't move, I donate it. So I've been doing something called the Dough Project for years now. And that's when I have inventory that doesn't move anymore. Or if I'm pressing transfers and I press them crooked, or I press them on the wrong color, wrong size, whatever it is. If I mess up, because I mess up all the time too, I throw it in a certain pile. I don't throw it away, I just throw it in a certain pile. Those t-shirts with the other t-shirts on my rack that I'm not selling, in order to make space on the racks, I donate it all. On those t-shirts, I press a small little logo that says Dough Project on it. Nobody knows what it means, but for myself, it's dressing our homeless. So I give out hoodies and t-shirts to the local homeless around the area. You never see it on camera because I never stick a camera or my phone in somebody else's face that's in bad shape. I would never expose somebody doing bad for my own benefit. It's not my place to do that. I'm there to help, and that's it. I'm not looking for an applause. I'm not looking for a pat on the back. I'm not looking for anything around that. That's why nobody knows that I do this. I do it because I want to do it. So what I do is just put together a little pack with hygiene stuff, socks, t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, load it up up in my car, and as I cruise around and I see local homeless, or if somebody's asking for change, or if somebody's on the side of the street and they could use some help, if I can't help them out financially, I can help them out by trying to keep them warm, giving some fresh clothes, stuff like that. And I don't say this to promote what I'm doing, but I am saying this because there's times where my racks are filled up with pre-printed t-shirts that I can't sell. Sometimes I put out a design that doesn't really hit, or if I'm vending at a festival and it doesn't move the way I think it's gonna move, I'll give it another shot online and see if people pick that up and it gets some traction. But if it doesn't, I need the space on my racks. And instead of just throwing the stuff away, I'd rather just donate it to somebody else that could benefit off of it. Now this does two things. The homeless are out on the street, they're wearing my logo, more promotion, right? And at the same exact time, I'm giving them fresh clothes to wear, fresh, clean clothes to wear, extra clothes to keep them warm. And it's just about helping the people. Now, one of the big things that people ask when they hear about this, or they see me doing it, is, oh man, do you go over here? Do you go to Skid Row? Do you go over here? I don't do all that. I'm talking about local homeless in my area. I take care of my community first. Before I drive out and take care of somebody else's community, I need to make sure home base is taken care of first. So if I can help here, I'm gonna help here first. So these are a few ways that I give away free clothes. I know when people ask me, I don't think that's the best idea. If that's your only marketing strategy is to give out free clothes and wait for sales to come in, I don't think that's a good way to do it. But if you had another marketing strategy and this is just something added on top of it, doesn't hurt, does not hurt, but it shouldn't be your only way of marketing. And remember, when you're hitting up these influencers to wear your clothes, don't ask for anything. Don't ask them to do something for you because they don't owe you nothing. You need to offer all the value to that situation first. You're the one that wants the value out of the relationship. Offer something up front instead of asking for something up front. Set yourself apart from the rest of the world. And if you mess up on some t-shirts, if you got shirts that aren't moving, donate them. Hook up to people that could use it, man. Like I said, it doesn't have to be broadcast. There doesn't have to be a camera in that person's face or camera watching you do this good deed. Do it because you want to, not because you want people to see you doing it, right? Appreciate everybody for watching. If you got any questions, make sure you leave it in the comments for me and follow me on Instagram, Big Brando TV. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.